It's the Love of the Game podcast. We're in the building. We here. We're live. We got guests. As always, we tell y'all every single week. At some point, y'all gonna have to recognize triple R, real recognize real. Game gonna have to recognize game. Y'all gonna have to understand what happens when we in the building.
It's an honor and I'm privileged to even be here competing against with so many amazing athletes from across the country.
Unlike any other podcast, anybody else covering grassroots basketball, there are no suckers in our circle. Period. Ever. Hey. Today is no exception. We got another great show lined up, a double header on a Sunday. Bryce in the building, Locks waiting only way, 805 Pride, Coach Huff in the building. But joining us, we have special guests. Nobody brings you special guests the way we bring you special guests. You don't even understand what's happening. We don't bring you people who don't dominate. We bring you people who dominate their league, people who dominate the competition across from them, and today is no different. We have
number 23. Christina,
one of the most accomplished scorers in single A private basketball today. We are talking about 1,938 points scored.
You were 70 points short of 2,000?
Yeah. Manje thought I was gonna get 2,000 at Holy Innocents, but you know.
I know, man. Hey, you should have told Coach, man, don't take you out when you in foul trouble.
Let me play. But not only that, our guest also has as many academic achievements as athletic achievements, and we're gonna get into that in just a little bit. We'll start just by saying $2.6 million worth of scholarship money. That is a problem, a great problem, but that is a problem. Miss Christina Walker, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here, ready to get started.
For sure. We're trying to do it big on this episode, man. We keep telling y'all that Georgia's handing out buckets at all levels. Y'all can come get some. We do this. This is what we do at every single level. We handing them out. Hold this L. There's a debate right now of greatest AAU programs of all time. And guess who's on the list? Oh, man, it's a Georgia program. We getting it done. Grassroots, high school, Division I, Division II, NAIA, D3, JUCO. Come get these buckets. Christina, we want to start with you. I just want to go through some of these accomplishments. You were accepted into 17 schools, 4-year renewable scholarships to a grand total. And that $2.6 million number is just astounding.
Yeah.
As these offers were beginning to come in, I just want to know, what was your feeling about it? Were you floored each time? Was this a part of the plan? Were you always believing that this would kind of be the result after your high school career was over? How were you feeling as it was actually starting to happen?
I got it.
Yeah.
I think that, whenever you see that a college sees your potential or any like outside scholarship program sees your potential and is willing to give you money to go and pursue a higher education, like that's an honor in itself. So I would say, yeah, each time, I would get into a school or get scholarship money, it would just be like another school believes in me. The same thing goes for basketball. Having coaches come out and watch me after I would invite them, or they've just had me on their radar and they come out and watch and try to support and potentially put me into their program. Like, it's just another opportunity for people to say, hey, like, I believe in you, I support you. But I've always been a very humble person, so I try to just watch it, appreciate it, and then keep it moving, because there's always more out there to get. But I'm definitely grateful. Yeah,
For sure. That's how the best get down. I'm noticing a trend. That's how that's Coach Huff got on here after winning 200 wins, and that's how he was too. The best are always.
There you go.
But one thing that I found remarkable is your commitment to getting better as you continue to have success, right? You're somebody that raised their scoring average year after year, 12.5 as a freshman, 16.8 sophomore, 18.7 as a junior, 22.5 your senior year. To me, that shows a dedication to the game. I just want you to let's talk about your just pure love for the game. When you first started playing, when did you realize like this is something that I really want to be a part of?
well, I give all the credit to my dad, Dwayne Walker. He introduced me to every sport, pretty much every sport when I was a kid, but basketball was the one that stuck. And though I don't remember what I was feeling when I was like a kid, like going back and watching the video of me shooting around with like a kickball, or just going to the gym and just shooting around, like I can see this certain like happiness and joy that I have about doing that. So I couldn't tell you the point where I just knew like, oh, like this is gonna be a forever thing, but here I am now, and I haven't stopped, and thankfully I'm going to play at the next level also. So
Can you tell us a particular moment that stands out to you, or what was the most fun that you've had playing the game so far?
The most fun, you said?
Yes.
I have a couple. I played my first kind of league that I played in was it was a co-ed league, but I was one of very few girls playing in the league. And at that age, around like 8, 9, all the way up to about 12 years old, I was always like the biggest person out there. Like I was more developed than the boys I was playing with and against. So, but I could also handle the ball pretty well. So I was kind of like able to dominate, easier, even though it was a boys league. But then I got kicked out of that boys league for being so dominant. They said that once I got to middle school, they said I couldn't play rec and middle school at the same time, but there were boys who were also doing the same thing. So it was kind of like a culture shock to me, because it's like, they're doing it too. But I would also say just playing in my school, like within my school teams, have been some of the most, I've obtained some of the best memories playing with them, just because I've been in private school since 6th grade. So the communities in private schools are already tight. So then when you have a tighter squad full of your friends who also play basketball, thankfully for me, we also had a lot in common. So it was just great to get friends, you know, playing middle school basketball, high school basketball, and even for middle school, like I still talk to almost every girl that I won 2 championships with. So
that's crazy. And also super shout out to Christina Walker and the Eagles Landing Christian Academy, private middle school champions for the 2nd year in a row, back to back. Christina Walker, one of them top players in the state, doing her thing. That's what's happening. That's the sports report with your boy Big Tig. Y'all stick around.
2015 AU state champions, Georgia Pearl.
Our team has achieved another state title.
Yeah, as a player, Christina is definitely the person, a go-to person. She was a good handler, good shooter, just an all-around good athlete.
Christina, 3-on-3 championship, 13 and 15. It's your 2nd championship. Does this one feel any different than the first one?
No, I feel like it's exact deja vu. Everybody was talking about us as soon as we came in, and they're talking about us now because we won. So nothing really feels any different. I'm just glad that we got another championship with some different faces.
Winning always makes it fun.
So in elementary, that's when you knew that you can play. Like, I'm better than everybody around me.
You know, I didn't really give that idea, I'm better than everybody else around me. I didn't really give it that thought, but you know, when it's difficult for other people to stop you, then you know it's like, oh, nobody can stop me. So.
Man, she's being modest. She knew she had the juice.
So she is being very modest and humble, and I love it. But see, we have video evidence, Christina, of you being a walking bucket. So
Really
I want to cut to some of the video because Locke went to go watch you play, and we actually had some clips of Locke dancing. You were playing so good that Locke started doing the shimmy. When you get Locke starting to do the shimmy, that's how you know that the game is being played at a very high level. I want to cut to some of these, and also want to talk about you also accomplished student, accomplished athlete, but you also have a great brand. Tell us a little bit about Christ and the Girl Hoops TV.
Yeah, so my YouTube kind of really started off as a YouTube channel. Play off my name, Christina, and Christ and a Girl. My relationship with God is one of the most important to me, so I wanted to incorporate that into my brand. And when I first started, you know, I've always had a kind spirit, you know, a gentle spirit. So my main focus and, you know, goal with my brand was to uplift, inspire, and empower all girls, all women around the world. So that's kind of what Christina Girl Hoops TV represents. And, you know, now that I'm going to college, you know, I want to keep that same goal and same mission. But, you know, now that, you know, hopefully by 2021, I'll be able to make some money and, you know, expand a little bit more if the NCAA, you know, allows me to. So with that, I also just want to expand my horizons and, you know, go in a lot of different directions to do more than what I'm doing now. And I think especially the college that I'm going to will support me in that. So,
no doubt. Yeah, coach, that's real. They were down 19 going into the fourth quarter, and she started to get busy.
Yeah.
Headlock, shimmy in the shoulders. She was getting busy. She was getting
She was
busy.
passing them out.
They, they
Yeah,
came
that was,
back and got a win. Can we talk about that game?
yeah, that's a crazy game because we've never lost to that particular school before. We beat them in our senior night like 2 weeks before that, and I don't know what the problem was. I know I was scoreless, I believe, for the whole first half. I think I had 2 fouls going into the third quarter. It was just a mess. But things just started working in our favor. I'm very have a very calm aura about me in life and when I'm playing. So in my opinion, hopefully I don't step on any toes, but we are a better team than them. So there was no reason we should have lost, and we didn't lose. All because, we just, us as a team, we focused in and were like, hey, like, we beat them by double digits 2 weeks ago. Like, let's get it going. And on top of that, I think I had 28 points to end, 29 points to end the game after a scoreless first half. So,
Crazy.
and I had to
Walking
bucket.
Walking bucket for sure. So we talked about you being accepted into 17 schools. Let's give for all the other athletes that are watching that are just starting their recruitment process or somewhere in the middle of the recruiting process. Talk to us a little bit of how you dwindled that number down to like your top 5 schools.
Yeah. I started my college search really early just because, I've always been an academically focused and driven kid. So I wanted to go to the best of the best school. I figured basketball would come along also, but, like I said, academics were my main focus. And I knew that I wanted to go to a school with a good psychology program because that's what I'm currently interested in. So that's pretty much how I made my decisions starting off like in 7th, 8th, 9th grade. Wow. And then how I got down to, the number of schools that I applied to was a mix of a lot of things, including, how much interest I have from a basketball perspective, the distance from my home. There's a school in California, a couple of schools in California that, I could have potentially went to, but like that's California, what else? Interest, distance, just correct fit. Thankfully, I've been able to travel to so many different states and do college visits and cover things for my YouTube channel like Final Fours and All-Star games and all that. So just through being able to travel, I was able to see campuses and be like, I don't think this would work for me. And then, once decisions came back, like in January, February, seeing, what the scholarship money was looking like and, how many outside scholarships I had supporting me and everything. So just that combination, and that got me down to, I would say, seriously about 5 schools that I thought would be great for me.
Do we want to name those 5? Do we want to talk about who was in the top 5?
Sure. And unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, I wasn't able to visit every single school that I got into like I planned, but I think that's a blessing and a curse. And I'll leave it at that. So my top 5, out of the schools that I got into, in no particular order, Northwestern, which is in Illinois.
Wow.
Dartmouth, which is an Ivy League in New Hampshire. Washington University in St. Louis, which is in St. Louis, Missouri. Oberlin College, which is a smaller liberal arts college in Ohio, about, I believe, 30 miles from Cleveland. And I wouldn't necessarily give a 5th spot. I think that those four were kind of, like I said, interest, money, distance, and basketball. So those 4 schools gave the best combination out of all the ones that I applied to at the end of the day.
Awesome. Do we want to let's show some love to those excellent universities? I happen to know a few on the list that did not make that cut, but let's show a little love to a few of the universities and let some people know who recruited you, who want to thank for recruiting you and taking the time to accept you or to reach out to you or speak with you, but unfortunately did not make the cut for those particular reasons that you listed. What are some of the other schools that you were being recruited by, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't going to be the best fit?
Yeah, and I'll even include the schools that I didn't get into because, I can be straight up honest and, for any student athletes or parents that are watching now, like, thankfully, I've been in private school since 6th grade and had a great academic foundation, but, standardized tests like the SAT and ACT, like, I would say I was average on those, but those higher level universities like Ivy Leagues like Columbia, Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, like all of the Ivies, they want to see 14, 15 perfect scores on the SATs. So me, I wasn't getting that. So even just being realistic in where I could go to school, that knocked, for example, Columbia. I was talking to Columbia, Yale, Harvard, Brown, but I didn't get into those schools, and I would say probably because of my SAT score, but I know academically, like in school, I've had a 4.0 since my junior year of high school, and so that's carried me, I would say. Other schools that showed love, Georgia State, like I'm not going to say all these schools offered me, but the interest was there. Georgia State, smaller schools like Worcester College, Washington and Lee in Virginia.
Good mix of schools. Great. Are we ready to show some love and make an announcement to our finalists?
Drum roll, please.
I'll get you a good drum roll. Are we ready?
Dun, 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 dun.
Here we go. I'll take Christina off screen for a second and she'll come back and we'll have our announcement. We'll drum roll. I'm excited for this. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. She picked a fantastic school. I didn't leak it, by the way.
Your Wi-Fi ain't the best today.
Oh man, I think we got too much going on, man. I don't know what's going on.
But it ain't mine. He don't want to say nothing.
I'm at Bryce level today.
I'm waiting for this.
Connecting, disconnecting.
I know, man.
Buffering.
Tough times out here.
I love this announcement. I can't. This is going to be great. And I've got the logo ready. Oh, she's ready. Drum roll, please. And our lucky winner is
Washington U.
WashU. Congratulations. Great school. Amazing school. I know Marcus over at SUV TV is smiling ear to ear right now. Another Washington U and St. Louis graduate coming soon.
Yeah. Like I said, those 4 schools, like I said, had a good mix, but WashU for sure. I got a chance to visit twice. Once to just see how the team played, and again to participate in their kind of elite camp. And it was at that point the head coach, Coach Henderson, Randy Henderson, she said like, "Hey, we'd be happy to have you here," and I kept that with me, and that was, I believe, June going into my senior year. Yeah, and just some things about the school. It's a top 20 academic university. It's been like that for years and years. The women's basketball department has five national championships under their belt, and they fly to all their games. Aside from a few that might be closer for them to closer. Coach is great. The team members that I've gotten to interact with have been great. And WashU is the real deal. The 2016 presidential debate was held at WashU on their campus, and the campus is absolutely beautiful.
That was a little saucy on that layup with the behind the back and the.
Hey, Dwayne has film of everything.
He did a great job.
Yeah,
he did a great job of documenting that. That was amazing. And Dave is right. Like he said, great school, great facilities. People don't always understand that about academic institutions. Like you said, something that's important. Flying to every game. That's going to be amazing. Top 20 school. This is incredible.
Yeah, the gym is, like you can see here, it's really nice.
That's nice.
That's nice. Yeah. And I just want to say also, being that I've been playing AAU for probably about 10 years now, it's no surprise or no secret that every basketball player dreams of going D1. Like, oh, I'm going D1 or nothing. And I know that this what I'm about to say is something you guys talk about on the show a lot, but not everybody, literally statistically, not everyone can go D1. And for me, like I said, my focus was high on the Ivies, and even then, that's even smaller because you have to be smart, able to get into the school, and be able to play. So settling on a Division III school for me, like, of course it's going to take a gut check, like, realize not everyone's going to go D1, and going D3, there's absolutely nothing wrong with going D3. And I just want to be someone to say that to anyone watching, anyone having doubts, like, it's okay. Forget about what anybody else says. Forget about all the pressures you might have from your family, from your friends, from your teammates. Basketball is basketball, especially if it's good basketball, like at WashU. So
100%. 100%. I want to roll off some of these academic accolades really quickly before we say goodbye to Christina, and congratulations as well. A Bill Gates national finalist, Questbridge national finalist, Padea scholar,
Christina Walker.
Enrolled scholar. Like, I mean, the list goes on and on of those academic achievements, and we always say that we're about student athletes, right? Student first, then athlete. But it's up to us to start celebrating these academic achievements and showing people how important that is, because if we don't celebrate it, then how will anybody know how important we feel like it is? You know what I mean? So
right.
I think it's incredible. WashU is an incredible university. I happen to know a couple people who graduated from there and are all doing great. But like you said, there's great basketball being played at every level. There are amazing facilities at every level. We just sent another kid to a D3 university, Birmingham Southern. Very much like WashU, high academic, not as high as WashU, but high academic school, great facilities, and they're very serious about their basketball program. And there's a lot of money in basketball at those programs. They take care of their kids. So amazing commitment.
Thank you. And if I can, I just want to thank a couple of people, a couple of groups. First off, thank you for letting me use this as my platform to announce my commitment. I appreciate you guys. I want to thank all of my family watching, all the family that's not watching, all of my classmates, my friends who tuned in. I want to thank all of my coaches from middle school at Eagles Landing Christian Academy. I'm hesitant to say names because what if I forget someone? But if you were my coach, please know I love you. And okay, Coach Harris, she was my middle school coach. Coach Whitlock coached me over at Eagles Landing Christian Academy. Coach Paul Muir at Paideia. Coach Mo at Paideia. Coach Ansley. Coach Joey. Coach JoJo at Paideia. Mr. Manny. Just everyone who's ever laid a hand on me, helped me, produced me into a basketball player. I appreciate that. And especially to my AAU programs who, without them, there would be no recruiting or anything like that. So I played with the Georgia Pearls for a countless number of years. Thank you to Coach D for having me in that program for so long and making me an integral part of that. And then for my final year, I decided to play with Team Elite, owned by Chad Hubbard, and I was coached by Paul Belcher. So shout out to that organization. It's a great organization, high-level basketball. Just to note, Team Elite's the only team in Georgia with the female team in Georgia with the Nike EYBL relationship.
Talk that talk.
Yeah. So yes, thank you to everyone. Like I said, everyone who's ever laid a hand and developed me into this person that I am today. Thank you. Thank you.
For sure. We appreciate you. WashU, we love you. Thanks for coming down here and getting a great kid, recruiting our state. We appreciate those schools that appreciate the talent and the value that Georgia brings to the table on and off the floor. So WashU, thank you. We're going to be watching WashU. Take care of our girl. If you don't, we're going to be on you. Take care of our girl.
Yeah. And I want to say also, before I forget, my grandparents, I'm thankful to have both sets of my grandparents still with me that I see thankfully frequently. So shout out to them. They always come and support me with everything academic and athletic. And my grandma is my grandma on my mom's side, and my grandfather actually helped set all this up. So
Awesome. Well, Christina, we want check-ins. We want to know how you're doing. We want to see highlights as campus opens back up and you start playing up there at WashU. Definitely don't forget about us back here at home and check in with us. We want to know how you're doing always.
Yes, and we're in the age of social media, so if I may plug my 3 biggest social media platforms for everyone watching to stay connected. So YouTube, of course, Christina Girl Hoops TV, and please subscribe. My Twitter is Christina Girl TV, and my Instagram is Christ.and.a.girl. So Christina Girl with a period in between each word. And like I said, social media, Instagram is huge now. So things are gonna get on and popping, as they say.
Get your merch. That's what she's saying. Get your merch. Definitely. As soon as it comes out, NCAA, she is going to be able. Go ahead and vote on this rule. Let's make this happen right now so she can profit off of her likeness, because I want to be one of the first people to buy a Christina Girl shirt when that pop-up shop opens, and you can legally and officially profit off of it. We're going to link to that YouTube channel and all that. We got to support.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
This Christina Walker, over 1,900 points scored for Paideia High School, going on newly minted WashU commit. Christina, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you, and we're going to be following your career as you go.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate the support.
Always, Christina.
Thank you. And congrats.
Hey, man, that's just great. That's what our platform, I feel like, is really about, man. Like when you can grind it out like that, opportunities are gonna come. Opportunities are gonna happen. Great things are gonna happen. Love celebrating great student athletes.
At home inside the Beal Center in Horsburgh Gymnasium, trying to make it 6 tonight against an opponent that hardly anybody ever beats. Washington University, one of the most outstanding Division III women's college basketball programs in the country historically. Not just recently, but historically. This is a program that made it to 10 Final Fours. They won 5 national championships. They had a Hall of Fame coach that left 3 years ago and now coaches in the Big Ten. And the Bears are formidable no matter what season or what their early season record is.